Hey guys, welcome to the very first Lunch with the Lawyer. I'm going to try to do these on my lunch breaks when I get one and post about something law related. Maybe bring in some guests, maybe do some first. But first I'm going to start with something controversial, something you usually don't see from me, which is a political post. So essentially, lately I saw something that I try to stay out of politics. I'm telling you, I'm not a political person. I'm the reason I'm a lawyer and a good one is because I'm a justice nerd, and I don't see anything related to justice and in politics and any of the, especially national politics, when it comes to these hearings from the Senate and everything going on with politics. It seems no justice there, so I stay out of it. I just kind of ignored, and I try to do my part. I try to do what I can within that system. Now, all that being said, I stay out of it, but then I see something that strongly dismays me. I have to comment on it, okay? So there was Roger Stone was convicted recently, and there's a much to do because he's asking for a new trial. The reason he's asking for a new trial is because the foreperson whose name was Tamika Hart was was anti-Trump. Let's just say that. So whether she was completely anti-Trump or not, we'll talk about that. But so here's how it works, guys. You should first know how it works, all right? So you're given a big, what we call voir dire or voir dire, as we call it in Texas. It's a panel of jurors who then both sides get to question them, and they fill out a questionnaire, and they're supposed to be, obviously, they're sworn to honesty in that questionnaire, and they're sworn to uphold an oath. 12 people are chosen out of these. So I'm going to start with this. Roger Stone absolutely deserved a fair trial for any criminal accusations. There is no doubt about that. I don't care what his or your feelings of what he did was. This is why we have the court system, to take out all of that bias, to give him a fair trial in front of 12 people. Now, the way we get the bias out of there is by this voir dire or voir dire, as we say in Texas, panel. And in that case, both people can deselect the jurors who seemed biased. Now, the person in question in this case, Tamika Hart, she had done some anti-Trump tweets. So let's start with this. Is there any way that we can remove any bias from a political, national political, like this, a Trump associate trial? There's no way. I have a feeling that every single one of you watching this feels strongly one way or the other in regards to President Trump. Now, no matter how you feel about him, to find 12 people, especially in Washington, D.C., where this trial was held, who have zero opinion on him is probably going to be impossible. And if you find 12 people who have zero opinion on the president, you're probably going to find 12 people who are a bunch of liars, which is kind of what they're accusing him here. But in this case, there was no doubt. Tamika Hart apparently revealed in her questionnaire that she was a Democrat, that she had run for Democratic office before. And the one thing that they're hanging their hat on is when in the jury questionnaire, when it said if she had made any public statements about Stone on social media or the like, she didn't check yes or no. She wrote couldn't remember. Now, right there, they say that's a red flag and a reason for a new trial. I don't understand if you saw this questionnaire. You saw that. Apparently, the remarks were on public social media like Twitter, where you don't have to, it's not a closed private thing. They could access that. You can access a panelist, a jurors, public media, social media, and you can look at it. You can't friend them to do it. You can't do anything like that, but you can look at what's available in their public account. And this was available. Not only that, but she gave them notice by posting that she couldn't remember. Now, here's where I want to get, maybe Tamika Hart is completely biased. That happens. I get people on my jury that I think are biased all the time. That's not the question. The question is the most important one to me in deciding how far to go to criticize Ms. Hart, how far to go whether to grant a new trial, whether you should even comment about Ms. Hart, is did she lie? They're saying she lied because of one tweet that had to do with the day that many of Trump's associates were arrested, including Roger Stone. Her opinion seems to be that wasn't, it was about Trump. And she did make several Trumps. But again, several anti-Trump tweets. She did make several tweets. But again, the only guarantee Roger Stone has is that his attorneys can question her. If she lied, then I'm 100% for granting a new trial and even criticizing Ms. Hart. However, if there's a gray area and you, the attorney, the defense team, which is a highly paid defense team, had the opportunity to question her about this and they did not. If they questioned her about it and they lied, then 100% let's criticize her. Let's talk about a new trial. If they questioned about her and she told the truth, or they failed to question her about it, that is the only guarantees the law allows. And they questioned other people, and they had a reason here to question her. So here's where I firmly stand. Absent from reading everything, absent any evidence that she actually lied, not misled, not, I don't remember that she said, I did not do that, and she didn't. Absent that, nobody should be criticizing her. Nobody should be looking at her. Nobody should be harassing her. And certainly no person in authority should be questioning her or attacking her. That is not okay. The jury is the last bastion of unbiased verdicts that we can have. Here's the most important thing. She was one of 12 people in criminal trials. It has to be unanimous, and this is why. You can question Miss Hart, but now you have to question the other 11 people who found Stone guilty. Now, the next criticism is, well, Miss Hart was obviously biased because after the jury trial was over, when Trump got involved and some of the prosecutors quit and the Justice Department got involved, she was not happy with that. And at that point, she liked the prosecutors. She thought it was wrong that they had to quit, whatnot. Listen, that's okay. That's not bias. During a trial, my job, prosecutor's job, everybody's job is to give you bias. If I'm a defense attorney, my job is to those 12 people who I made sure were unbiased when they sat down. I want to make them biased for my client, against the state, against the accusers, against everybody. And as a prosecutor, I want to do the opposite. I want to make them biased against. That's the whole thing. And so once a juror who heard everything comes out of there and criticizes somebody, that defense lawyer was terrible, that defendant was terrible, that prosecutor was terrible, what the state did was terrible, those cops should be fired, that's okay. That doesn't show a bias before they sat down. Now again, I would think it wonderful. What we really try to do as attorneys is remove all bias before they sit down. But I would posit it's impossible in this scenario. Absolutely impossible to eliminate everyone who felt strongly about Trump, because you have to say that if you eliminate people like her who are trading anti-Trump stuff, you have to eliminate the citizens who are for Trump, citizens who post pro-Trump stuff. Now, anybody who posts something specifically about Roger Stone and seems to be addressing Roger Stone himself. Directly about Roger Stone, absolutely. They should be eliminated for the jury, number one. But it's the attorney's job to suss that out, A, unless she lies. Now, if she lied, but there's zero evidence that she lied, so let's stop talking about that. It's not okay to criticize a juror for engaging in their civic duty. As an attorney, I can tell you the hardest thing is to get these jurors to participate in this function. And for us to make it harder for them to participate in function, for us to chill them, to make it, to even have second thoughts about participating in this is absolutely ridiculous and can't go on. And I encourage you, if you feel strongly about this, go in, be a juror, be honest, answer the questions they ask, but then I will protect you, I will back you up, I will stand up against anybody who attacks you if you are honest and if you become a juror member and then later reach a decision that they don't like. This isn't every case, but it's more important in these political cases, these publicized cases. There's just nothing we can do to eliminate all jurors, all bias, but we can make sure that bias isn't reflected in the verdict, and in this case, without any evidence that bias was reflected in that verdict, then I think that we have to stop and we have to look at anybody who criticizes this and tell them that that's not okay. Hope you enjoyed it. Lunch is about over. I got to get back to work. I hope you had a good day today. And I'll see you as soon as I can get back to this. Thanks.